Your personal statement is very important for medical school. Why? Because beyond the grades, beyond the MCAT score, it tells the admissions committees, it tells them why you, why medicine, what brings you to wanting to become a medical student and become a doctor. Your personal statement is what communicates that. And you want to communicate that effectively, efficiently, and genuinely. And on this video, I'll be giving you tips on how I improved my personal statement for medical school to matriculate and get multiple acceptances into medical school. I am BigGameCham, you know the name, the most authentic in the game, also known as Chamberlain, and I'm a rising second-year medical student attending Howard University College of Medicine. And my first tip for you in improving your personal statement is to dig deep. Dig deep. Truly sit with yourself and really think, why do I want to be a doctor? Why do I want to go into medical school? Why do I really want to go into medical school? Dig deep to discover your why. Medical school, life in general, is filled with ups and downs. There's adversity, and you have to persevere through the adversity. What enables you to overcome adversity is when you know your why, when you know why you're doing whatever it is that you are doing or pursuing. And then within your personal statement, you want to communicate your why. Why medicine? Why do you want to be a doctor? And when I say dig deep, I mean really dig deep. What is it that occurred in your life? What is it that occurred in your family members' life that deeply affected you, that gave you the spark and the drive to want to make a change in this fashion? Because there are a lot of different ways to help people. There are a lot of different ways to be of a benefit to your community, of a benefit to society, of a benefit to the world. There's a lot of ways to help people, to serve others. Why do you desire to serve others in this capacity? Dig deep. Why medicine? Why do you want to be a doctor? Dig deep. You know the answer to that question, but you have to find it. And once you find it, then you write about it and articulate it. If you're enjoying this video so far, like, comment, subscribe. Because this is BigGameCham. You know the name, the most authentic in the game. Step 2, number 2, is to start early. What do they say? The early bird gets the worm. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Many of us don't plan to fail, but sometimes we fail to plan. When you start early, when you prepare adequately, that benefits you in the long run. I started on my personal statement in my freshman year of college as I attended the illustrious Xavier University of Louisiana. And so when it was time for me to apply to medical school, spring, summer after my junior year, I had already worked on my personal statement. I had already started. You don't want to get to application time, and that's your first time really working on your personal statement. You don't want that. You don't want that. Why? Because proper preparation prevents poor performance. Imagine you have an exam on Friday and the only time that you looked over or prepared for that exam was Thursday night. You may be in trouble on the exam. However, if you started preparing for that exam 3 weeks in advance, you're working on it for an entire week, then 2 weeks in advance, you're working on another week, then 1 week in advance, you're working on another week. Then 5 days before, you work hard that day. Then 4 days before, another day. 3 days before, another day. Then the night before, more studying. When it comes time for exam time, you'll be much better than you would have if you just only studied on Thursday night. So the same can be said about your personal statement. Don't wait till, if you know you want to go to medical school, if you know you want to apply this upcoming cycle or the next application cycle, then you need to work on this personal statement far in advance. Why? Because of the third tip is that you want to revise and edit. The version of your personal statement that you end up submitting on your application, it shouldn't be your first rough draft. It should be the first full draft of your personal statement. You want to revise and edit. And to do this, one key element is to seek advice. Seek the revising and editing from others. If you know any advisors, any counselors at your school, anybody that's been accepted to medical school before, a medical student, a resident, a physician, someone who is a professor who's known many students to go to medical school, get eyes on your paper. If you do a summer internship, ask them to help revise and edit review your personal statement. Individuals within the healthcare, the medical field, ask them for revision for your personal statement. Pre-med advisors, physicians, different individuals who have expertise and experience. Ask, seek, and you shall find. Yes, I mentioned you must dig deep and discover your why. But you also want to articulate that why. You want to articulate that how your experiences up to this point have propelled you to become the physician that you know you were able to become to serve others, right? But the way in which you articulate that, the way in which you formulate that, the way in which you tell your story, the same thing could have happened, but the way you articulate it can determine whether or not it is captivating and interesting versus not captivating or not interesting. So that is where the advice and the revising and editing and the different opinions can be of benefit to you. At the end of the day, it's your statement. But if you find some individuals with more experience, more expertise than you who also have your best interest, there's nothing wrong with seeking advice. You don't have to make every change that everyone suggests you make, but at least you have that suggestion. You have that food for thought. You have that, okay, that's a different perspective. You have different perspectives, different ways of looking at things, which will only benefit you in the long run. So to summarize, to improve your personal statement, and some of the things that I did to improve my personal statement, I had to dig deep. Why medicine? Number 2, I had to start early. I had to start in advance. Why proper preparation prevents poor performance. And number 3, I had to revise and edit. I had to seek advice and seek assistance. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see next, and I will see you on the next video.